Testing 1 2, testing 1 2 1 2. Good morning. So JB Criterion, good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday, June the 23rd, 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, I got music in my ear right now. I got music in my ear right now. Let's see. Good morning, Nadia Martinez. Go hit the like button. You're stopping by, hit the like button. I woke up very optimistic today, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very optimistic today. A lot of things could change today, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I used to rule the world. The failures and the resides down to sing. I thought I'll sing the theme song tomorrow. Everything. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into these experts, good morning, Lou and Petty. Good morning, Mysterious. Good morning, Nani Martinez. Bells is ringing. Everything's happening. Guys are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield. My missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain it. Once I've gone, there's never be to roam. Now I shall rule the world. I don't know. I had a feeling to have that song in my head right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going through some times right now, right? We have to make some significant adjustments right now. And I was preparing to talk about the inflation from the experts. I have those lined up. But one piece of news. Good morning, Lauren Favela. There's one piece of news that just made me sad right now. I'm sad. I'm wrecked. I'm wrecked right now. I'm like, I can't get past this article that I just finished reading. Ladies and gentlemen, this touch home right here. Like this kind of ruined my day. I was very happy today, very optimistic. I'm wearing yellow, I'm bright. Yeah, yellow. Let's go. Best Coldplay song, yeah. Call my name, this world. But when I rule the world. Ladies and gentlemen, this song right here. I mean, this article right here, right? This is a very depressing article. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. I'm triggered. I'm very triggered. Like I was happy. I was gonna start the show, and then I saw this article. I gotta share. Let's get the bad news out of the way before I start with the jokes. I gotta get this off my chest right here, ladies and gentlemen. This came out yesterday, June 22nd. I can't even say the dates. June 22nd, 2022. I can turn off this music. Inflation causing pet owners to surrender pets to local shelters. People are surrendering their pets.
How inflation is hitting pet owners, forcing some to surrender their pets to local animal shelters.
Any of our smaller dogs, people call us every day wanting to surrender their
Oh,
animal.
Others come in search of help with food and vet costs. Animal rescue experts say when the economy turns, pet owners struggle. Animal shelters are having a tough time keeping up with costs themselves. So if you're able to help or donate to a local shelter, you can find resources on our website, news12.com.
see, these are the kind of shelters we need to donate and help out. I'm gonna see if I help out a shelter. I would like to adopt another cat, but I can't afford it, honestly. And I would never give up my cat. I'll struggle. I was homeless with my cat. All right, I would never, ever give him up. Right, puppy? I won't give you up. We'll go live in the shelter together. Okay? All right. All right. So I understand, you're giving up your kids for adoption and stuff, but for a pet, come on, man. Come on, man. Where's this article at? Got another one over here. You know, I understand you give up your kids for adoption. All right, cool. It happens. Things happen. That's why they have adoptions. But your pets, I don't get this. Whenever I'm feeling down, my cat, well, my cat's been kind of annoying lately. I did tell him I was going to give him away. Now, everybody, you keep being annoying, Ginger. I'm going to put you in a
And
shelter.
now inflation is hitting pet owners. KCCI Scott Carpenter is here. And Scott, it's gotten so bad, some people are actually giving up their pets.
No, I don't
Yeah,
know
Steve,
how.
that's the sad truth here. The Animal Rescue League of Iowa says more owners can't afford their pets. Now, I visited a shelter in Warren County today, and they're having a tough time keeping up with the number of pets returning to their care.
Any of our smaller dogs, people call us every day wanting to surrender their animal.
Before 11 o'clock Tuesday morning,
We have a lot of kittens right now.
Julie Skellinger received 3 calls of people wanting to surrender their pets. It's becoming so common, they're almost out of space in their shelter to take them in.
We only have so much space in our facility. So if we don't have the room, then we have to tell them no.
She says there's also an increase in the number of dogs dumped in Warren County.
They'll be wearing a collar. They'll, sometimes they're even wearing a harness. And yes, they look like they've been taken care of, but I think people we don't want to assume anything and think badly of people, but I think they dump the animals.
The Animal Rescue League of Iowa sent me a statement saying, when the economy turns, pet owners struggle with cost, including affordable pet-friendly housing and veterinary care, which are more often now beyond people's grasp. Skellinger is seeing more and more pet owners come in for help with food and supplies.
They're embarrassed and they apologize and say that, they just can't afford the cost of the food right now. And so we help them out.
And this small animal shelter is having a tough time keeping up with costs themselves. Their vet bills are over $6,000 a month and rising.
Our vet costs have increased tremendously because the number of animals that are coming in, we have to get ready for adoption and it costs us more money.
Sad reality right now. Skellinger says the increased number of pet surrenders is not due to just inflation, but more people are giving up dogs they adopted during the pandemic. So if you need help with the cost of pet food, she says to search for organizations that can give you free pet food and supplies in your area. The surrenders is not due as the increased number of pet surrenders is not due to just inflation, but more people are giving up dogs they adopted during the pandemic.
So you see that, right? They're giving up the dogs they adopted during the pandemic. So you felt lonely, you used the dog, and you give it back. Now you can't afford the food. Cat food has gone up a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Food has gone up. I haven't taken my cat to the vet yet. I need to. It's been over a year. But it's expensive. It's very expensive. So what are we going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Inflation is up. What are we going to do? This is something that you just can't be like, oh, everything's going to be better. It's not. We can't be thinking like this anymore. Like hope, the hope strategy, hoping. That doesn't work anymore. Hope doesn't work. Remember hope and change? Hope and change doesn't work. Hoping doesn't get you anywhere. You got to do something about it. This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. This is sad. It's coming to the point where you have to give up your pet, or you're gonna give up your pet. Pick up an extra ship at IHOP, or feed your pet, feed your kids. There has to be a way. There's just, but it's sad right there at the end. He says that it's the pets that people took during the pandemic and then returning them back. So what, they had the pet for like a year or two? I was also thinking about all the pets of all like the older folks. You know how older folks have pets and they go and they pass on. Somebody should take on that pet, not just give them away. So it's kind of sad. So about a year ago, this video came out by Warren Buffett, right? Well, Warren Buffett started.
Really hot topic right now. We've seen the Fed saying this inflation we're seeing now is short term, nothing to worry about. Then on the other hand, we've seen Warren Buffett talking about how he's seeing big inflation throughout Berkshire Hathaway's businesses. We've got Michael Burry making a new big short on bonds. So it's something to watch for sure. But how does it actually affect us as investors? And what's the best way to negotiate a period of high inflation? Well, in this video, we're going to dive into some past investing. It's more over a few years. If inflation is running rampant, there's a potential that your real return is zero. You could buy 100 meatball subs before, then you make 20% on your investment, then you sell it. But after that, you can still only buy 100 meatball subs now. You've had no gain in purchasing power. This is Warren Buffett talking to that point in 1979. He said, a few years ago, a business whose per share net worth compounded at 20% annually would have guaranteed its owners a highly successful real investment return. Now, such an outcome seems less certain. For the inflation rate, coupled with individual tax rates, will be the ultimate determinant as to whether our internal operating performance produces successful investment results, i.e., a reasonable gain in purchasing power from funds committed for you as shareholders. Just as the original 3% savings bond, a 5% passbook savings account, or an 8% US Treasury note have in turn been transformed by inflation into financial instruments that chew up rather than enhance purchasing power over their investment lives, a business earning 20% on capital can produce a negative real return for its owners under inflationary conditions not much more severe than what presently prevails against tax on the business does well. In 1980, Buffett made this analogy, which I really like. He said, the average tax-paying investor is now running up a down escalator whose pace is accelerated to the point where his upward progress is nil.
Sorry about that. A tax-paying investor, right? That's the way I felt in New York City. I'm running up in a down escalator. No matter how hard you work, no matter how overtime, the taxes were always going to be there to take it. 40% of taxes. So there's always somebody there to rob you on the way, whether it's the bum, the homeless person, the crack addict, whether it's the government with their taxes, the city, the state, the federal. Somebody's out there to take your money. Take care, Jay Breaker Terrier. Somebody's out there to take your money. So how did you avoid paying taxes? How do you avoid doing? That's why the rich stay rich. They know this. They pay other people to do this stuff. They have legacy. They have life insurance. And they stay rich. They keep it within the family. They keep each other rich. Us, we're just being divided and chopped up, separated.
But beyond being an investor, inflation can be a crappy time for businesses as well. Obviously, inflation eats away at their purchasing power as well. Now, businesses generally need to buy a lot of stuff to keep operating. If this stuff is now all of a sudden more expensive, they're trapped in a dilemma. Either they pay the higher price to operate and therefore make less profit, or they try and raise the prices and hope that their sales volume doesn't shrink because of it. Inflation can also put upward pressure on interest rates, which can make it harder for companies to access loans or make pre-existing loans more expensive to pay off.
That's how I feel like my money does, ladies and gentlemen. It just burns, man. Money, you go to the gas station, that's what happens to your money. What's the money burning again? That's what happens to your money, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Loki. Good morning. So so this is another video I want to show. I'm just showing real quick videos. I'll put the links. So 5 ways rich people make money with inflation. So there's ways of making money for the inflation.
Lowered interest rates, everyone knew that inflation is coming. But the Fed said that we should not worry because inflation is just a little above 2%. But if we take a look at what's happening, prices have risen dramatically since then. I don't just mean asset prices like houses, stocks, etc., but rather consumer prices as well. Inflation in the US has jumped to the highest rate since 2008 because as the economy is recovering from the pandemic, people are getting back to work, which means people are spending more than ever. The Consumer Prices Index rose at an annual rate of 5%.
Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I've been buying a lot of stuff last year. Last year I went on a spending spree. I bought up a bunch of things. You can't even imagine. Some of the stuff I don't even need. But then I said to myself, now I'm glad I bought it back then when it was less, because now it's more expensive. TVs are more expensive. I got my TV for like $130 brand new with the Roku, the microphone, everything that I bought. I bought it before this jump in prices. Things are very expensive. If something's on sale, I buy it now. I might not need it now, but I might need it in the future, or I need it now. I just get it now. Because you come to think of it, a month later, the price of that item is going to go up. Toys. Ladies and gentlemen, I used to buy a Power Ranger for $19.99. Now they're $32.99 at GameStop. Target, they're like $24.99. Toys, the price of a toy has gone up drastically. With $20, I used to go in and buy a toy. I got to spend $40 to buy a toy. So even the other day when I went to the range, I wasted a bunch of ammo, maybe like 300 rounds. And I was like, I pay $12 for those ammos. Now those ammo boxes like $20, $25. So in order for me to restock my supply, I'm going to pay double than what I paid last year. Everything is getting expensive. Now it's time to plan things out, ladies and gentlemen. We got to plan things, plan our purchases, plan our paychecks. You know what? Let me buy this for the winter. It's cheaper now. Let me buy a Christmas. We should have bought a Christmas tree in January. Damn, I should have bought a Christmas tree in January. Imagine buying a Christmas tree this year. Jeez. Anyways. Think ahead, plan ahead. This is just for me. I don't know what the experts saying, but me personally, I'm thinking different. I'm thinking ahead. So speaking of that, I gotta make some purchases after this, because you never know. Things are changing quickly. Laws are changing quickly. So get it now. If you see it there, get it now, because that same item may not be there next week. And with the supply chains, you might not see that item for a while. So just get it while you can. It's becoming like that. Even if you go to a store like Ross, TJ Maxx, Burlington Coat Factory, right? You know, those stores that have those, so stuff that you might need. Hey, if you see that pot that you like, just buy it, because you might not see that pot again. And the price of steel, that pot might be more expensive next week. It might not even be in TJ Maxx. You might even have to go to Kohl's and pay regular price for it. I mean, their sale price. Their sale price is just a regular price. Kohl's is a ripoff. I went to Kohl's the other day. $80 for a Nike t-shirt. I'm like, this is really an inflation store. And they sucker people in with their sales, their coupons. Save 80% off Kohl's. Yeah, so you could get it at a regular price. Because they jack up the prices up 100%. $80 for a Nike t-shirt? Get out of here. And then with the $80 80% discount, it's like $20. Even JCPenney's expensive. I'm like, these stores used to come here for the bargain. Now TJ Maxx, I like going to TJ Maxx, Ross. I shop the bargains, ladies and gentlemen. I go to the Goodwill. Goodwills. Yeah. The best place to go shopping is Goodwill, which today I'm going to go to the Goodwills, actually. Thank you. Usually Thursdays, I like to go to the Goodwills right before payday. Like usually Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thursdays, I think today, yeah, Thursdays, they have a different color of the day. So today I like to go to the Goodwills. I like to check them out. And it's actually, no, she said it starts on Fridays. The color of the day starts on Friday. Well, anyways, I like to go Thursdays and Fridays. I don't know. I like to go every day if I can. But the Goodwill, ladies and gentlemen, that's where I go. I went to when was it? Labor Day week? No, Memorial Day weekend, right? I went to Express. Express had a sign outside, $50 off, 50% off. So the one to make this is an Express shirt, right? Their shirts are like $70. No, $60. Half off, it was like $30 for the shirts. I'm like, damn, $30. You know what? I'll buy one. Oh, the pants, $50. I'm like, oh, $80 for a pair of pants and a shirt. I'm like, damn, that's a lot of money for one outfit. And I said, nah. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been going to the Goodwills. I've been finding a bunch of Express shirts for $6.99. And I found the Express pants. So with those $80 that I was going to spend one item, I walked out with 5 Express shirts and 3 Express pants. Oh, 6 Express shirts and 3 Express pants with those $80. Going around to the Goodwills. Ain't no shame in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, ain't no shame in the game, ladies and gentlemen. We got to play smart. I'm still going to look good. I'm going to be styling and profiling, but I'm going to be doing it on a budget. I'm just sharing it with you guys because, we cool. But who the hell has to know, right? Nobody knows that, oh, you got that from Express or the Goodwill. Times are hard, man. Times are hard. Doesn't mean you got to dress like a bum. You still got to look good. You never know. Me, I'm looking for a job that's gonna pay me more. If I get another job, it has to pay me more. I know my worth, so I'm not gonna settle. I know my skills. I know what my time is worth. Think about it that way too for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Don't exchange your time for $10 an hour, $15 an hour. Go for more. I don't know about now, but jobs are still hiring. Like a few months ago, jobs were hiring desperately. That's when you got to jump on. If you have been doing the same job for like the past 10 years like I did, you only gain one set of skills. For the past 7 years, I've been doing different jobs every 3 months. If I like it, I stay. If I don't, I go. I've just been racking up experience. I do a job for 3 months. It's like getting paid to go to college. It's like getting paid to learn something new. Even if it's a job at a fast food place, work there for a month or two, learn and get out. Learn the recipes, learn how to make this, work out, sales, go sell cars for a couple of months. Learn, go through those trainings. You get paid for them. You learn new things. You pick up sales tricks and you pick it up as you go. You start doing these different jobs. You start learning. You learn more than what you did when you were in college. You don't learn anything in college, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you, college is a waste of money. Real talk, college is a waste of money, waste of time. You're wasting the best years of your life, 18 to 22 in college. That's why I dropped out when I was like 20. I was like, college is. I went back a few years ago and I got the degree. I finished it off. I went for a whole year, just finished it off. But college is a waste of time. I went there a few years ago. You're not learning anything. Your kids are not learning anything. They're just wasting their time, spending your money, picking up a drug habit or alcoholism, and just partying it up. There's nothing in college. Those good years should be maybe at a trade school, working at different jobs, making money, investing. Kids could pick up that crypto stuff faster than we can. All that technology, that's why kids pick it up quicker. They're sponges. They learn. Imagine teaching a kid about the stocks and crypto and all that when they were young, when they're young. By 16, they know what the hell they're doing. 18, they're already making money. Instead of sending your kids off to public schools, public indoctrination camps, teach your kids. Yeah, I know both parents got to work, or now there's only a single parent household. But the best education a kid can get is from their own family, not from a stranger. You have these parents having the kids raised with their nanny. The kids are being raised by their nanny and their iPhones. Raise your kids, cook for your kids. Man, I was blessed with my two parents, and then my mom always cooked. That's why I'm always craving home cooked meals, because I grew up with home cooked meals. Now you see kids growing up on chicken nuggets and French fries and burgers and hot dogs and whatever you could put on them in the microwave, lean pockets, hot pockets. It's sad, man. I grew up with rice, beans, a piece of meat, and some soup, and a homemade juice or lemonade. I grew up on that. I like that. I enjoy that. I want that. So I grew up with that. I'm spoiled on that. I'm sorry. I want that. I do that for myself, but that's what I want. I grew up on that. So remember, if you teach kids at a young age, like, they will know what they want. So you teach them about money, saving. They don't teach this in school. They don't teach them how to open a bank account, portfolios, invest. They don't teach this in school. Why don't they teach kids this? If they would have told me math would goes hand in hand with money, then you know what? I would have paid more attention to math. I learned more from a YouTube video than I ever did from school. How to do the percentages, how to do the sales.
In May, up from 4.2%. So let's take a look at different ways rich people
So
are
you have these videos on YouTube, right? I watch them. I'm going to start sharing more. The ones that I watch, we'll watch them together. I haven't watched this one. I like to watch them first. I should watch them first. So, I could skip around and the good parts. But ladies and gentlemen, use YouTube. Don't just use it for politics. Like, use it like how to do this, how to do that, how to save money. Like, there's just so many videos. My car got messed up yesterday. My car wouldn't turn on, right? So I had the booster on it, the red first and the black one. I turned it on. I let it go for like a minute. Try to turn on my car. I was like, oh man, I hope it's not the alternator, the starter. So I went back, I started charging the booster pack again. I went inside and started watching YouTube videos how to fix my car. I'm over here learning. All right, maybe I gotta unscrew this. I looked at the engine. I'm like, okay, that screw is there. Okay, that is there. That cap is there. That wire is there. I started learning. So from that mistake, right, my car has been messing up. But every time my car messes up, I'm learning more and more about my car. Sometimes bad things happen, and you got to take that opportunity and learn from it. You take that negative and you learn from it. You learn, all right, I left the light on. So what the hell? Why am I Sylvester the cat over here? My fault. I left the light on. Battery drain. All right. Hopefully that was my fault. Hopefully it's not an alternator, a starter. Look, I'm already learning pieces of the car. I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm learning. I'm looking online. I'm learning. And I learned something new yesterday about my car. So I boosted it. I waited maybe 15 minutes. I left the battery on it for 15 minutes. Turned it on. It turned on. Hopefully when I go back out, it's on again. But I took that time instead of me getting mad. Like I used to get mad about stuff. Like, oh man, oh. You waste time. You're wasting seconds being angry. Okay, what's my next step? I take a step back. All right, it doesn't work. Let me take a step back. Hobo chili recipe, right? So last week, yeah, a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if I told you guys, I got hit. I was at a red light on my way to the gym, and a car hits me from behind, like boom. I'm like, oh shit. It wasn't that hard. It was just like a tap, like, and I'm like, oh. And I saw it was like a handicap, was like an older person, and I just said, oh, forget this. And I just kept going. I kept going to the gym. I looked at the bumper. It was just a little dent. I'm like, ah, whatever. What am I gonna do? And then ever since then, I don't know. My car's been feeling funny. I gotta get it. I gotta go get it checked out. But yeah, I was looking at the starter because you had to look for this little screw on the side of the motor. The ground from the battery, the ground had to be connected. But I'm gonna get it checked out. Maybe the starter has to get replaced. It's a 10-year-old car. So, but I'm learning about my car. I had to get the tires changed. I got hubcaps. I changed the light bulbs. The air filter, like stuff like that. The oil I want to start changing next because we cannot just depend on these people, right? Like when I took it to Walmart for the tire change, right? I saw the person that changed my tire. It wasn't the older guy. I like when the older guy works on the car. I don't like these young bucks, these young guys working on cars. I feel like they just came out of the trade school or whatever. And they're working on my car. When you're new, sometimes you forget things. I like the experienced person. I like somebody seasoned working on things. So ever since then, my car's been feeling kind of funny. So that's why I never like taking my car to the mechanic. I don't want different people working on my car, putting their hands on it, messing around. Maybe they forget to screw something in. It happens. Make sure blinker. I'm gonna check this all out. That's what I'm learning. Thank you guys. Let me know some tips about cars and stuff. I have a Civic, so that's why I also got a Civic because it's easy to fix. I could just like switch parts around. I could take it apart myself. It's not like a Lexus or where they hide the manufacturers always hide things under the engine. So you got to go under it or you got to get a special key. So and that thing happens right about when I'm about to pay it off. I'm about to pay it off and all these things start happening to my car. But well, soon it'll be my car, not the banks anymore. So soon I can actually call it my car. On internet gas. What, Bitcoin? Man, I don't know if you guys remembered. Back in January, I took when everybody was talking about Bitcoin, get into Bitcoin, get into Bitcoin. I had money to buy the equipment, right? I got you guys donations, so I bought the computers, I bought the microphone and the cloud lifter and the Focusrite. I bought it on credit because I could get a credit card. I was like, all right, cool. So I bought the computer, the monitors were like 400. Then I had like $400 left, which was going to go towards the microphone. But I used it towards Bitcoin. I was like, let me invest in Bitcoin so I could get into it. When I started losing in Bitcoin, I got another job. You guys remember I stopped doing this show. I lost in Bitcoin. I'm down to $81. From like the $400 I put in, I'm down to $81 on Bitcoin. And I know they tell me to buy low right now. Nah, I'm gonna see how low can it go. If that's what you mean about internet gas, I mean, yeah, Bitcoin, internet gas. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we haven't even gotten to the experts. Oh my gosh, I've been talking before. No, we haven't heard from the experts yet on inflation. Let's go to CBS, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the home of Stephen Colbert. Let's listen to the experts, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot.
Well, here's something you're probably already feeling in your pocketbook. U.S. inflation is at its highest rate in 40 years.
Tell me about it.
Skyrocketing prices continue to drain bank accounts, fuel, food, travel. All those costs have gone up dramatically, according to economists at Moody's.
You know what hasn't gone up dramatically? CNN's ratings.
Analytics weekly market outlook Costs are up almost $300 per month for the average family, and all of that means lots of Americans are rethinking their budget strategies.
For sure. Joining us now is CNET Money Editor-at-Large, Farnoosh Torabi, with spending strategies that may help offset.
So what do you recommend people download or get on to help them offset some of their rising costs elsewhere in their life?
Well, first, thanks for having me. And you're absolutely right. We are obsessed with technology at CNET. And when it comes to our financial decisions, there are many apps that can help to make them easier and in some cases help us save. And so when you think about where inflation is really hitting hard, it's food and gas, right? And those are two big areas in everyone.
Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If you have cable, cut that. I used to work for Verizon. Cable is a waste of money. What you really need is high internet, high speed internet. And you could pretty much stream anything. And if you're watching anything with commercials, you're wasting your time. You can always watch everything condensed. Well, me personally, I just bought the MLB network for $60 for the remainder of the season. In April, they charged me $140, $160 for the subscription for a year. I called back and asked for a refund for my $160 back. Because I know during the middle of the season, they lowered their prices like $60 or towards the end of the season, $20. So we're still not in the All-Star break. I got it for $60. I saved myself $100. I still want to watch baseball. I enjoy watching baseball. The Yankees are doing good. So I enjoy watching it. So if I'm going to get cable, it's just to watch wrestling when I get a chance and baseball. $60. I paid up front. I get to watch all the Yankee games that I want. And this was, hey, good morning, LDG. Good morning, Rocky Man, Rocky Major. And this was that I was planning to go to a Yankee game. That the Yankee ticket alone would have cost me $60. And I said to myself, let me just pay for it so I can watch it on TV. We still got to spend on entertainment, but we got to spend it smartly. The USFL, I didn't even know it was going on. I know the last week of the USFL was last week. I don't care too much about the NFL, so I wouldn't care too much about the USFL. I would care about the XFL because it's like wrestling related.
Budget. So with regards to saving on food, I recommend Ibotta and Flip. These are two free apps that you can download where you can store your grocery reward programs in these apps. But more importantly, these apps will also go on, and these apps have going to the grocery store an opportunity to save without even really knowing what they are until you get there. You flash. I don't have to tell you how high they're getting,
So let's say I can't afford a new phone, so I could get all these apps. Where's the real advice? Like, all right, like me, cut back on food. Like, I used to buy Pop-Tarts. I just had one. I found it and I ate it. I ate it the other day. I was like, whatever. I ate, but then I realized I threw out a bunch of food, right, that I had in my cabinet. I had like muffin mix. I had Betty Crocker mix. I had all these cake mixes. I'm not going to eat that garbage. I threw it out. Anything with high sodium, I threw it out. Then I realized I got to cut back on my food spending. I just got to buy what I'm going to eat. So right now I'm just buying eggs at $2, organic soy-free eggs for $2, which is cheaper than Aldi's regular nasty eggs at $2.50. Then Aldi eggs were good at $1.09. But they're not good at $2.50. Right now, I'm just buying peanut butter, some good bread, which is like $4 for some good bread, but it's healthy. Eggs, I boil eggs. I got the machine to boil eggs, peanut butter, tuna. I have a bunch of tuna cans, and that's all I'm surviving on right now. I'm budgeting myself $20 a week. I'm gonna go shopping today. $20 a week. I'm saving. I'm spending on food. Gas went up. I'm trying not to drive a lot. So these are the cuts that you got to try to figure out. Like I said, if you have to commute to your job 40 miles each way, you're spending what? Almost 3 to 4 gallons of gas. That's $20 of gas a day. The food you spend on going out, on eating out, lunch, breakfast. That coffee in the morning adds up. Natty G, which one are the so like natural grocers? Who told me about natural grocers? MMA. I'm doing boxing, ladies and gentlemen. Like I got the like YouTube, right? Check if you have YouTube Premium for free for 3 months. I got YouTube Premium for free June 1st. And now that I don't have to sit down and watch commercials, I've been abusing YouTube. I'm learning how to do different things. Next thing you know, I'm going to learn how to dance salsa from YouTube. But I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, how to work out, how to do this. And that's what I do on YouTube. I educate myself with YouTube. Use YouTube. Don't just use it to watch Tucker Carlson and all that. Use it to learn something new every day. Learn how to do this, how to do that, how to cook this, how to cook that.
Key here is to plan a little bit before you head into the car.
And then you learn these new skills, and you know what? You probably start making a little bit of extra money. So you could afford this stuff. Hey, the prices are going up. The prices are never coming back down. This is the new norm. Remember they kept saying the new norm? This is the new norm. So you know what? We could either become slaves, work 2-3 jobs, or we could figure out how to make, extra money or make more money in the 8 hours that it's 24 hours in a day. You sleep 6 hours. You got 18. You work 8. You got 10 hours of your day left. Are you going to spend those 10 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours commuting and doing other things? No, you could learn something. Go to the gym, learn a new trait, learn a new skill, read a book, watch a YouTube video. And if you're stuck in traffic, watch a YouTube video educating yourself, stimulating your mind. Even if it's an audible, have the book read to you while you're driving. Hopefully you don't fall asleep like I do, but
check an app like Gas Buddy or
shut up with your
Gas
stupid
Guru.
apps, man.
Spring is
You know what? They should have me on these shows, and I'll be like, "Hey, man, what the hell do I know?" But let me tell you something.
Points Guy, we're partners with CNET. They is not going to earn you any points. You mentioned we didn't do a lot of traveling in the last 2 years. So if you have racked up miles or points on your credit card, now is the time to strike. Because here's the thing with inflation, our points and our miles are also going to
See, for females, ladies, the younger you're monetized. Females are monetized. Females could. I'm not even gonna get into it this morning. I'm not gonna get into it.
be worth less in a world where inflation is rising. So you're not benefiting by waiting to use those miles or points. So strike now while they're hot.
I tell you, I just came back from a week of vacation and the airports, everything is crowded. People are out there traveling, spending the money it takes to travel. They just really want to be on the road right now. I can't imagine how.
Even things might get expensive. People are still going to travel. People are still going to spend. It doesn't matter. Price is going to go up. There's people that have the money for it. Not everybody, but people that have the money, they'll go for it.
Frustrating it is for so many people with inflation at this 40-year high. Can you give us some insight, Farnoosh, on how we got to this point and how concerned you might be about hyperinflation?
Well, what's really fueling this inflation, it comes down to the basic economics of too much supply and too much demand and not enough supply. The last 2 years, we have been saving. A lot of us who are fortunate to have jobs.
Hey, good morning,
saving our
12-pack.
money. And so we're ready to spend. But because of supply chain disruptions that COVID created, because of labor shortages that COVID created, we're now in a circumstance where consumers are ready to spend and not enough supply. You look at the housing market as an example of this. There's just not enough supply in the market to support the demand. And even if you're looking to buy furniture, right, there's just a lot of people looking to buy, and the disruption due to what's happening at the manufacturing plants has created an inverse relationship there. So prices go up. I would also cite global warming and climate change for why we're seeing inflation. So there's COVID that we can cite, COVID-related disruptions, but also you have to remember that over the last 2 years, we have seen unusual climate patterns where droughts and flooding and other sorts of climate-related shocks wiped out farms, wiped
out. Is she really blaming climate? She she blamed it. She blamed it on.
Even if you're looking to buy furniture, right? There's
She
just
blamed
a
it
lot
on
of people
climate
looking to
change.
buy, and the disruption due to what's happening at the manufacturing plants has created an inverse relationship there. So prices go up. I would also cite global warming and climate change for why we're seeing inflation. So there's COVID that we can cite, COVID-related disruptions, but also you have to remember that over the last 2 years, we have seen unusual climate patterns where droughts and flooding and other sorts of climate-related shocks wiped out farms, wiped out crops, and that's what I think part.
Wiped out farms and wiped out plant. All right. You saying it's climate change, right? All right. Check this out. I just pulled this.
Fires after several U.S. food processing plants went up in flames in recent months.
WCNC Charlotte's Megan Bragg looks into what we know about the circumstances tonight.
Recent fires at food processing plants across the U.S. have several people speculating online if something else is behind them.
Food processing plants on fire, ladies and gentlemen. So this must be climate change, right? What she said, global warming, climate change, right? This is climate change burning down these food factories.
This tweet notes a, quote, odd coincidence that, quote, 18 U.S. food processing facilities burned down in the last 6 months.
18 U.S. food processing facilities burned down in the last 6 months, ladies and gentlemen. 18. Food is going up. All right. So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Is it climate change?
The question that we're looking at today, are people setting food processing plants on fire intentionally in order to create a food shortage? Let's verify. Our sources, Sam Gage-Jack, the communications manager for the American Association of Meat Processors, Sarah Little, the vice president of communications for the North American Meat Institute, Tom Super, the senior vice president of communications for the National Chicken
These guys are so trustworthy. Jeez.
Council, fire officials in each case, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture, otherwise known as the USDA. In a statement, Little told us, quote, we are not aware of any concerted effort to set food processing facilities on fire. Super told us, quote, I can only speak for chicken, but like any manufacturing plant industry, there are genuinely a few fires that occur each year across the country. Most of them are contained rather quickly. Gage-Jack agrees.
We've not seen anything that points to it being suspicious in any way. A lot of them seem to be mechanical failures or just very unfortunate, tragic things that
This guy is talking like he has a gun to his head.
happened, but nothing that was deliberate.
So let's break down the number on what we learned from fire officials. 11 of the fires were either ruled accidental or no foul play was suspected. 6 others are still under investigation. The other one was at a vacant building that once housed a meat plant, but no longer does. Another note, while the tweet mentions 18 fires in 6 months, only 12 of them actually happened in that time frame.
According to a report from the USDA,
Oh, wow. So 18 is wrong. It's only 12. Relax. It's only 12. What are you talking about, right? So don't worry about it. It's not 18. It's not 18. It's only 12. So relax.
12 of them actually happened in that time frame.
According to a report from the
I bet you the other 2 burned down, was it 6 months? It burned down like on the day before it started counting as 6 months.
The U.S. has about 36,000 food and beverage processing establishments in operation.
So 36,000, right? Who cares? It's only 18. It's only 12. Who cares? We still got 36,000. It's only 12. Relax.
Gage-Jack says fires at just 18 plants would not cause a disruption to the food supply.
So these individual fires, they might be disruptions for regular customers of those facilities, but the public as a whole shouldn't have seen any major difference.
Super says, quote, there are about 200 federally inspected chicken slaughtering plants in the U.S. and thousands more that further process chicken. And that's just chicken. I would not categorize this as an alarming trend.
It's not alarming. Relax, people. Relax. All right. All right. I'm relaxed. I feel better. Getting to the point when I see these fact checks and it starts to make me think the complete opposite of what they want me to think. Yep. I like how the news is so quick to call someone a conspiracy theorist simply for questioning all these coincidences. They really don't like critical thinkers. I feel bad for the people who sit in front of the TV screen and actually listen to this crap. I pretty much take your fact checks and now the opposite of what you say is true. Thanks. Truth is the exact opposite of media info. So yes, people are setting them on fire. You see, like, oh look, 4,000 ratio down. Look at the ratio. My bad. I should have showed it to you. 4,000. Look, I didn't even know. Let me ratio it down. Boop. Like, people don't believe this stuff anymore. This tells you CNN ratings are the lowest, ladies and gentlemen. CNN ratings are slow. They had the lowest ratings in like over 20 years, ladies and gentlemen. Like, people are not consuming this crap. Stop watching this nonsense. Like, YouTube, use it to your advantage. So as much as we complain about YouTube, use it to your advantage.
Is your concrete looking old and worn?
No, it's not. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't buy this concrete. You don't need it in your life. You don't need this nonsense in your life.
That'll last for years. You now have a renewed concrete surface at a fraction of the cost of replacing it. For more information on Recap, visit Quickcrete.com.
No, don't visit.
Quickcrete, what America's made of.
First rating week in 22 years. Going all the way back to 2000, fewer people have never watched CNN in the past 22 years.
So, see, people are not watching this crap anymore, ladies and gentlemen, like CNN. What's up with this music, man? Oh, so nobody's going to talk? So let me turn this music off so nobody's going to talk. So CNN, they're suffering their worst, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's watching this garbage. It's nobody's watching this garbage, CNN. That's why I said cancel cable. And just watch the Tucker Carlson monologues and stuff like that. Nobody's watching the Sean Hannity monologues either. Go to Fox News and look at the ratings. Look at the views. I think Laura Ingraham gets more than Sean Hannity. People hate fake stuff. People are realizing, like, you mess with people so much, they eventually start learning, hey, wait a minute. I'm being lied to. I'm being messed with. It's only a matter of time. People get fed up with stuff. You can only push people so far. You can only feed people garbage for so long. And that's what's going on in CNN. People are realizing this is garbage. Why am I consuming this garbage? Why am I still watching this? Why are they still talking about January 6th? Why are they still talking about the Russian collusion? My gas price has gone up. My rent has gone up. Like, talk about that. But they want to keep talking about Trump, January 6th. Instead of talking about the real stuff. Like, same thing with public school. They don't teach your kids how to make money, save money, earn money. They teach them about genders and rainbows and stupid pride and all that garbage. How is that going to help your kid's future? Confusing him about his or her or them or she or it gender. And that's what teachers are teaching it. So it's a waste of time. Just like an adult consumes CNN and his news propaganda on TV, it's the same way kids are consuming that nonsense that they call education in public schools. So ladies and gentlemen, every day hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button. Please don't forget to hit that like button. ladies and gentlemen, with that, I'm going to say good morning, good afternoon. See you later, alligator, to tomorrow. But before I go, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give you guys a shout out. It's a comment in the comment section. I wouldn't be here doing this show if you guys didn't show up to watch me and give me 55 minutes of your morning. I appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. You're my motivation, ladies and gentlemen, to do this show. So I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Rocket Man, Rocky Matrix. Shout out to LDG. Shout out to Rocket Man, Rocky Matrix. Shout out to B Smiley the Third. Shout out to Hobo Chili Recipe. Shout out to Tamale Harris. See, today 55 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Every day is going longer. That's what she said. Shout out to 12 Pack. Shout out to Hobo Chili Recipe. Shout out to Shake Sam. Shout out to 12 Pack. Shout out to B Smiley the Third. Shout out to Julio Esparza the Third. Shout out to Shake Sam. Shout out to Julio Esparza the Third. Shout out to Tamale Harris. Shout out to Hobo Chili Recipe. Shout out to Rocket Man, Rocky Matrix. Shout out to Hobo Chili Recipe. And K. Sometimes it gets kind of hot. And at the man cave. Shout out to LGG of Geeks and Joy. Shout out to Lou and Petty. Shout out to Nadia Martinez. Shout out to Loki. Shout out to Jay Bree Criterion. Shout out to Lorraine Favela. Shout out to, who else is in the chat? Lou and Petty. Shout out to Mysterious. Good morning. Shout out to Nadia Martinez, Jay Bree Criterion. Who else is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen? Who else is in the chat? Shout out to FTW Nil. Yeah, I'm down at the man cave.
Sometimes it gets kind of hot and the shirt come off. Down at the man cave, the wives all around will tell us.
Shout out to Super Spurs. Shout out to Malcolm X. Early in the morning.
Every day, a different story at the man cave. The man cave. Another night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Loki. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. You have a good day. Real man like legal Latino.
Living life like evil Knievel. Wouldn't believe all the risk that we had to take. A real man that's proud and brave is taking all the things he craves. And where he gets it from, well, there's just one face. Down at the man cave, sometimes it gets pretty hot. Quite hot. Down at the man cave, the wives are around to say, well, turn that shit off. The man cave.
Take care, everybody. Take care. Have a good night.